This is a weird one, so bear with me. So the Minnesota Soil Health Coalition, which is a group that I'm a member of, is doing a little, shall we say, on-farm test, maybe on-farm competition, and they're calling it the Soil Your Undies Challenge. So I've got some tighty whities here, 100% cotton, men's underwear, and the idea is you go out in your field. This is June 24th. Actually, I'm on the 25th today. I'm a day late because I didn't get the undies soon enough, so I was supposed to bury these yesterday. But anyway, the idea is everybody buries a pair or a couple of pair in different fields. We're burying them on June 24th. We're going to dig them up again on August 5th. And whoever's are the most decomposed is going to win some kind of a prize. I don't know what it is. This is mostly just for fun. But there is some science to this, if you can believe it. So if you have good microbial activity in your soil, these 100% cotton underwear are going to break down faster than if you don't have good microbial activity. So if you've got a healthy soil food web going, you can expect better decomposition. Now, this is the first time this group has done this that I'm aware of. They might have done it last year, but I'm not sure about that. And certainly other groups have. This is not the only place that anyone's ever done the Soil Your Undies challenge. So I have seen the results of other types of competitions like this, and it's kind of amazing. You know, people will bury a pair of underwear in a conventional tilled field, and when they dig them up a couple of months later, it looks like they're not decomposed at all, or they have very little decomposition. And then in like advanced fields that have been in no-till and cover crops and under regenerative practices for several years, there might only be the waistband left because the waistband's got synthetic material in it and the cotton part of the underwear is just gone. So it can be anywhere in between those two extremes. So I'm gonna go out and bury these, and I'll kind of show you what I'm doing. And I got a couple of fiberglass T-posts here that I'm gonna use to mark the location, and I'll probably GPS locate it in my phone too. I'm gonna put one pair in a cornfield and one pair in a soybean field, and in a couple of months we'll see what's left of them. All right, well, I dug a shallow hole here. You're supposed to keep them within the top 6 inches of the soil. Leave the waistband sticking out a little bit. So I dug a hole in here, threw these babies in here. They're supposed to be in a single layer and not folded over on each other. You can see, by the way, some lovely cover crop action going on here. My interseeded covers are coming up nicely, although I do still have some broadleaf weeds too, but we'll take it. Anyway, there they are. I'm gonna cover them up. Leave a little bit of the waistband sticking out and stick a fence post in to mark where they're at. So I'll admit, I did pick a spot in this field that should have a little bit better microbial activity. There's a couple of keys that I used to check. For one thing, when I took soil samples, there were parts of the field that I just felt the tilth was a little bit better of the soil. It just seemed to have a little bit better soil structure. So that's one of the spots I picked. And then the other thing is, if the cover crops look like they're doing well, now that we have these interseeded cover crops in here, places where they seem to be taking off usually have a little bit better biology. Places where the cover crops don't get established as well generally don't have as good a biological activity going on. So that's not really stacking the deck so much as it is just thinking it through. So while I'm here though, this is interesting to note. This is a part of the field that flooded out. That's actually where the broken drain tile was, right in the center of the screen there. So before we got that fixed, this was inundated for a while. And so then when I planted cover crops, even though there's no corn rows here, you can clearly see where the seeder, where the grain drill went along and deposited the cover crops. Then you go uphill from that a little bit and we have just a ton of water hemp in here, which we may spray off. I don't know. I kind of want the cover crops to grow too. But I think this is really interesting. So there's no corn row here. There's no fertilizer here. I guess there could be a little bit left from when we initially planted. But why don't you see it there then? You know, so right here, I pulled up the side dress rig as I was fertilizing and didn't put any fertilizer here. But I did plant cover crops through here, and you can clearly see that where I planted cover crops, the weed pressure is half of what it is in between. So, you know, for anyone who doubts that cover crops have the ability to suppress weeds, you can see the stripes right here. Now, do I like to see this water hemp in the field? No, absolutely not. I'm not necessarily proud of that, but I do like these little experiments where we can kind of see a little something about how just having those cover crops present, that annual ryegrass, radishes, turnips, and kale, is doing something to influence the weed germination rate. So, I don't know, just something cool. There we go. Got the marker behind me there. I guess August 5th, we'll see what's left of them. Hey everyone, it is Sunday, August 30th. I've got my #1 helper with me out in the cornfield. And it is time to dig up the underwear that we planted for the Minnesota Soil Health Coalition's Soil Your Undies challenge. I'm actually a little behind schedule. I should have dug these up on the 24th. So I missed my chance to submit them for evidence as to how the soil health in our field looks. But we're still going to dig them up and we're going to take a look at them. I found the marker pole and I found the waistband of the underwear, and we haven't dug them up yet, so everyone's going to get to see what they look like along with us. And we're kind of excited to see whether they're still looking fresh and new, or if they look like they've been eaten up by the soil microbes, right? Okay, so here we go. We're going to dig them up. All right, there's the waistband sticking out. Here's my pole that I had to mark them. We had a hard time finding it out here in the corn. It looks a lot different than the day I put them in the ground, but let's see what we can see. I'm going to try to hold the camera and dig these up quick with the shovel here. Shouldn't need to take too much dirt off. Oh, I see they're kind of tattered. Ooh, we're going to have to be careful excavating these. Hopefully I didn't damage them with the shovel, because we want to see what they look like. Oh, I see part of them. Sure, I'm underneath them here. So we just dig them up. Oh boy. There's an earthworm. That's good.
Ooh. Can I hold it?
Yeah, hold on. I'll put him off to the side, and then when we have these dug up, here's another one.
Oh,
there's actually a whole bunch right here.
Oh, yay!
That's it. That's all that's left of them.
Oh my God.
Not a whole lot. See, I guess I was hoping, I'm glad that there's not much left. That's a good sign. But it looks like most of what's left in the hole is just bits and scraps that are barely even there. It's not even hanging together. So that's a good indicator of soil health right there, I think. That's all that's left. Just some pieces of cotton that are pretty chewed up, and a waistband, and some little tatters in the hole. So there we go. Oh, you found an earthworm. Yay! We like to see earthworms in the field. That's better than I'd hoped for. This is 2 years of no-till on this farm, and that's the condition that those underwear are in. So now this is admittedly a pretty good field with pretty healthy soil. You can see it's got a nice, rich, dark texture to it. So I don't know, I hesitate to say I stacked the deck, but I picked a spot where I thought maybe there'd be some good soil biology when I put this pair in. Now the pair that's in the soybean field, that one I'm not so sure about. It might be a lot more intact than this. So that's where I'm going to go next. And I don't know if Olivia's going to come with me or not. We'll see.
I think maybe, sure.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Now we got to get back out of this cornfield. It was pretty tough to get in here, wasn't it?
I think I can survive one more time.
One more try out, one more time out in the field?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, Dad?
So that's where they went.
I see you had beans for supper.
Yeah. Apparently they fell off of me while I was planting. Isn't that silly?
So there's your microbes in the cornfield at work.
Went right after it.
Yeah, there's hardly anything left.
Just the waistband, and that's still good.
Yeah, the waistband is still good.
Yeah.
Well, now I've got my 2 best helpers with me, and we found our way out to the soybean field to the second pair of underwear that I planted. So we're going to take a look at those. So this is kind of interesting because there's the fiberglass post and the shovel and the underwear right there. But right after I planted them, I noticed a patch of this soybean field just died for no reason. I have no idea what caused it, and I didn't really analyze it that closely, but I'm guessing it's not related to the underwear, but I will note that everything that died is just slightly downhill from where I planted the underwear. So I don't know if there's anyone from Hanes watching. I might have a bone to pick with you guys. Here's the waistband. Here's the stick. Get this out of the way. And I'll see if I can get under them here. Can't quite, let me see here which way they're. Looks like they go that way. There's a lot of clay here, so it kind of really sandwiched them in. Gonna have to do this archaeological style. We didn't bring paintbrushes to sweep away the dirt. Okay, what have we got here? Same as the other ones almost. I figured these would be a lot better looking, and by better I mean like more intact, because this is not as nice a soil as in the other field, but they're actually about the same. We've got worms.
Ooh, daddy, worms.
There's one. You know, for being clay ground, this is kind of compacted, but it's better than it has been in the past, especially after last year with all the rain we had. There's chunks of this that just breaks right open, and there's really good soil structure there. That's not heavy layered compacted clay layers like we had this spring when Dana and I were out here doing soil samples. This has actually got holes in it. I can see earthworm tunnels. I can see, you know, this breaks apart in really nice chunks. So for the kind of summer we've had, where we've had kind of ideal rainfall, I think it's been really good for the soil structure here, because it hasn't gotten quite so inundated like it did last year. Not bad. I'd say we're doing okay on biology, especially for only 2 years of no-till. Well, here it is, the side-by-side comparison of the underwear. This was in the cornfield, this was in the soybean field. I think we've got some pretty good microbial activity going. Anyway, just wanted to give a little thanks to the Minnesota Soil Health Coalition for inspiring this little experiment. And yeah, that was kind of fun to put that out there and go out and dig them up again. I mean, it's unscientific, but we've got a pretty good idea that we've got some good soil biology out there that's, well, it's willing to eat underwear. I'm not sure what else it's willing to do, but hopefully cycle nutrients. So see y'all next time.